Welcome to Soul Growth Stories, where we explore the profound journeys of nature that mirror the resilience within our own souls. On a desolate and wind-swept hillside, a tiny seed fell from the sky, destined for a journey unlike any other seed. Fate was not kind that day, as the small seed rolled helplessly until it became trapped beneath a massive, cold stone. Enveloped in darkness, the seed lay silent and still, cut off from the warmth of the sun and the gentle breeze. Nearby, on softer and more forgiving ground, other seeds landed gently and began to drink the morning dew, ready to grow. They sprouted quickly, their green leaves unfolding to greet the sky, celebrating the ease of their new life in the light. The trapped seed tried to expand, but the heavy ceiling of rock pushed back, keeping it small, confined, and deeply hidden. Through a tiny sliver of light, it watched the others grow tall and vibrant, feeling a heavy sadness weigh upon its heart. Days turned into weeks, and while the meadow flourished with life, the seed remained a prisoner of the unmoving, silent stone. The sun baked the rock surface, turning the shelter into an oven, testing the endurance of the fragile life hidden beneath. Water was scarce in this dark prison, and the seed felt its energy fading, wondering if it had been completely forgotten. The wind howled outside, a reminder of the freedom it could not have, as loneliness wrapped around the seed like a shroud. Life celebrated just inches away, with colors and movement, while the seed faced the crushing reality of stagnation and dark silence. Doubts began to whisper in the dark, making the seed believe it was flawed, unworthy, and destined to never see the light. But deep within its core, a spark of life refused to be extinguished, holding on to a silent promise of future potential. Realizing it could not go up, the seed made a brave choice to grow down, seeking strength in the depths below. It was a slow and painful process, pushing through hard earth, anchoring itself firmly while the world above remained unaware. Above, the easy life had a price, as shallow roots left the quick-growing plants vulnerable to the shifting winds and storms. But in the darkness, the seed was building an unshakable foundation, turning its struggle into a source of hidden, quiet power. Every moment of delay was actually a moment of preparation, gathering the energy needed for a breakthrough that was yet to come. A harsh drought arrived, turning the green meadow brown as plants with shallow roots withered under the relentless, scorching sun. Yet the seed under the rock survived, for its deep roots had found ancient water sources hidden far beneath the dry surface. It drank deeply from the earth's reserve, growing potent and ready, waiting patiently for the right moment to unleash its strength. The atmosphere shifted as heavy clouds gathered, blotting out the sun and promising a storm that would change the landscape forever. Thunder shook the ground and rain poured down in sheets, a chaotic symphony that frightened the weak but awakened the strong. The water cascaded over the stone, finding its way into the tightest cracks, softening the hard earth that held the seed. Moisture embraced the seed, signaling that the time of waiting was over and the time for action had finally arrived. Summoning every ounce of energy stored during the long darkness, the seed began to push, driven by an unstoppable will. It did not ask for permission to grow, it demanded space, pressing against the cold stone with the force of life. The pressure was immense, a battle between the ancient rock and the tender shoot, but the seed refused to surrender. Adaptability became its weapon, as the stem curved and twisted, searching for the path of least resistance to the light. The storm raged on, aiding the struggle by loosening the debris, acting as an ally in the seed's fight for freedom. With a final surge of power, the tiny plant caused the massive rock to shift, just enough to create an opening. Breaking the boundary of darkness, the pale green shoot emerged, tasting the fresh rain and feeling the air of the world. The clouds parted, revealing a brilliant sun, and there stood the brave sprout, victorious against the odds that held it down. Around it lay the fallen stems of those who grew too fast, their shallow roots unable to withstand the trials of the storm. But the late bloomer stood firm, anchored by the very struggle that had forced it to grow deep before growing tall. With access to deep water and sunlight, it grew with a vigor and strength that the easy-growing plants could never possess. The rock that once oppressed it became its protector, shielding its roots and offering stability that no open soil could provide. Its branches spread wide, creating a sanctuary of shade and life, a testament to the power of resilience and patience. It had not arrived first, but it had arrived strongest, turning a disadvantage into the very reason for its magnificence. Life flocked to its branches, finding safety in the strength that was forged in the dark, cold silence of the past. Every scar on its bark was a badge of honor, a story of survival that whispered of endurance to the wind. New seeds fell in its shadow, looking up at the giant, inspired by the silent strength that towered above the hill. It stood as a guardian of the hill, a living beacon proving that what tries to crush us can make us unshakable. Like the seed, you may feel buried under the weight of life, hidden in darkness while others seem to shine effortlessly. You might feel left behind, watching the world move forward while you remain stuck, struggling against obstacles that seem immovable. But remember, easy growth creates shallow roots, and quick success often lacks the foundation needed to weather the inevitable storms. Your current struggle is forcing you to dig deeper, to develop wisdom, patience, and strength that cannot be gained any other way. Do not despise the delay, for it is in the waiting that your character is built and your true power is formed. Trust that your time will come, and when it does, you will not just survive, you will thrive with unmatched stability. Let others have their moment in the sun early. Your journey is about longevity, depth, and a legacy that endures time. Seasons will change and years will pass, but the roots you grow in the dark will sustain you through every winter. Embrace your unique path, knowing that the heaviest rocks often hide the soil where the mightiest trees are destined to grow. Keep pushing, keep growing, and never lose hope, for your breakthrough is being prepared in the silence of your struggle. Your story is not over. It is simply gathering the depth required to support the greatness that is waiting to emerge. Stand tall in your journey, proud of your scars and your roots, for they are the proof of your conquered battles. The sun will rise on your life, and you will understand that the rock was not a barrier, but a bridge. Believe in your timing, trust your process, and know that the most beautiful growth often happens after the longest, darkest wait. Thank you for watching Soul Growth Stories. Remember, your current struggle is simply the foundation for your future strength. Stay resilient.